I'm feeling overwhelmed and discouraged, and I don't know how to do this. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Nancy. I do a whole lot of things, and today we are getting real. But before we do that, support the channel by subscribing, and if you want to follow me on Instagram, I will be leaving that in the description box. So lately I've been feeling a lot of emotions. I have felt very overwhelmed, I have felt very discouraged, and sometimes it's really hard to keep going. I have been trying to leave my job for some time now, and I have been applying to multiple jobs, multiple postings, different things that I think I could fit in, and that at this point it has just become like a full-time job, and it's very exhausting. Now, out of all the jobs that I've applied, I've only heard back from like 4 of them. Nobody else has like contacted me or anything, and it just feels so like discouraging. And not only that, but then like I'm obviously getting constantly no's for whatever other reason. And like, you know, I've had my master's, I have my bachelor's, and yet it's impossible to like find a job. And I think that has become so discouraging to keep hearing no from different places, or just not hearing back and just kind of getting ghosted. And I'm so tired of it. Maybe it's a sign, right? Maybe I'm supposed to refocus on something else, I don't know. But I've decided to try to open a business. But this has put me to get creative and see what else can I do. Like when I'm looking for jobs, I'm trying to find a criteria that, you know, fits my resume. But I'm not really happy with my resume. I'm not happy with my work history. Like I'm not happy with what in general I've been doing as a profession. And like sometimes I'm like, I wish I could go back and change all of my studies so I can try something different. But that would take a lot of money and a lot of time. So I can't have that as an option. So my next option is to try to open a business. And you will hear more about this business as it keeps evolving. But something that's coming from this is that it has opened a lot of fears in me. Not only is it taking so much time away from me because I have to prepare, but it has brought a lot of feelings when it comes to like being a mom, because it makes me feel like I'm not as present. I have struggled to even keep up with like my house. And I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional for this because it has felt very draining. And the reason why I'm making this video is because I think one is going to help me to talk about it, but I also think it's important to know that this is real. This is how life is, and things happen. This is like real life, and you know, if I want to do something that I think will get me somewhere, it's going to take time and effort, and it's not always great, and it's not always fun. So I want this content to be relatable. I want it to be inspiring. And if you're going through this, I want you to know that you're not alone. And just like I'm going to get through this, you're going to get through this as well. So going back to the fears that have opened with this journey, the other fear is just like the stability that comes with just having a paycheck. So I'm very thankful I still have my job, and I'm very thankful for my job, but definitely limits the time I have to do the next thing in my journey. And some fears that open up while I'm planning these is my possible earnings in the future. And I get fearful of my earnings because a lot of the times when we go with something we love, sometimes it may not be a high paying job. You don't even know where to start, which is the other fear. Like I don't know where to start. I don't know where to go. I've talked to people. I'm like so happy that I am actually working with a friend of mine to do this, because I think that if I was doing it by myself, I don't know if I could do it myself. And the reason why I would struggle is because I think I have a lot of I have to work on my confidence. So I know that I'm confident in certain areas, but I'm not confident in others. And I doubt a lot of my abilities. I put myself down all the time. And so I want to improve those, because that's how you can achieve those like high paying careers, or you can build something great for you. But it's an area of growth for me. So I'm really happy that I have my friend with me, because I think she's gonna push me or keep me accountable when I'm struggling. The other fear that has come with this is speaking on the phone. I am terrified of speaking on the phone. Like when I tell you, just calling to place an order for food is like a whole stressor for me. Like I can't even imagine actually pitching my business to someone. Like currently I'm looking for spaces where I can host something that I want to put out there. I don't want to take too much details because I want it to happen, and sometimes I'm scared that when I say it, It's not gonna happen. So I will tell you that later. But I'm working on trying to set up this space for a workshop, and I'm trying to find free spaces because, well, I don't have the money to put that out there. So my idea was like, let me maybe contact like local coffee shops or small places that can possibly host us in exchange for like us giving the participants time to buy their product. But that means I have to make phone calls and pitch my idea to these places. And I'm terrified. I am absolutely terrified of doing this. And I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I know I have to do it. So, and that may be a future video of just going through that process with you. But right now I'm like kind of setting up, and I found a few places that I can contact them through email. So I've done that already, but I know that I have to make the phone calls, and not necessarily to get booked, but to get over that fear, because I have a big fear of that. Now, going back to like the income fear, that has also put me in the situations of like, what else can I do so I can make more money and sustain this business that I want to have? Because this business is truly something I know I'm going to enjoy, and I'm going to do it with all my heart, but I don't know if it'll cover my expenses. So I want to have something else that could allow me to do this. And so, you know, I started taking classes so I can learn other skills, and I've started being more consistent in social media. And those could be some areas where money could come in. So right now, although no money is coming in, I'm putting in a lot of time, and my head, I think, is becoming like a whole lot. I have a schedule for recording, I have a schedule for editing, I have a schedule for taking a class, and now I'm starting to set up some type of movement also for the business. And I think at the end of the day, I'm also very tired. So it's hard for me to focus on my family sometimes. I'm struggling right now to balance it all. I don't know if it's possible to do it all, but I'm trying. And I know things take work, and I know that it takes time, but I am struggling. And I feel very fortunate to have a husband like the one I have, because he has been so supportive through it all. I know I will figure it out, but right now it feels like a lot. Here's some things that I'm trying that have been working recently. But again, I'm still trying to figure it out, so it's not perfect. But something that has helped tremendously during this process is to write a journal every time I go to bed. And my journal is not like a typical journal of like, dear me, blah, blah, blah. I've always struggled to write those type of journals. So my journal is very short and just a list. So for example, when there's a lot in my head, I organize it on paper. So I put the things that I want to get done the next day. If I have like goals that are spread out, maybe I try to connect them and make them into one goal, or I'll try to say these are the things that I want by the end of the year, and I will like make a list that makes sense for me, that organizes my brain. And that has been helping me tremendously. I think a lot of times when I feel like that is crucial that I do that before going to bed. The other thing that I've started doing, and I started doing this like officially yesterday. It didn't go the way it planned, but I think it's for other reasons, but it was helpful. So something that I did was that I actually scheduled hobby time and playtime with my kids. And so I scheduled an hour to play with my kids, and I scheduled like the nighttime after putting the kids to bed with my husband. That meant that I had to take away some other tasks, but at least I knew that my husband was kind of centered also as a priority in there. Previous to that, I was not putting him in any list, and I think was creating an issue because I was just very away. Yesterday it was better because I gave him some time, but yesterday he was struggling yesterday because he was going through a lot, and so that's a different situation. But I felt good that I was able to give him the time, even to just like watch TV together, you know, like I wanted to make sure that he knew that I was present and I wasn't just like on my computer doing something else. So that's something that I want to keep doing. The other thing that I've started trying is using my videos for different platforms, which I didn't do before, and that was a dumb idea. I don't know why I didn't do that before, but basically now when I make a video, I just download it and put it on the other platform and just change the sound. Something I realized was that, so I started posting on Instagram consistently. So for Instagram, I noticed that like when it downloads, it literally takes off like all the volume for everything, like the music and the talking, and so it wasn't convenient to post in another platform. So what I started doing was that now I'm starting like on TikTok, and I'll make the video there, download it there, because that one downloads for all the sounds. So if I'm talking, it'll keep the sound, and then I post that one on Instagram and just change the music based on what I'm seeing that's viral. And that has saved me some time. The other thing that I did was actually open a TikTok account, because I think you have more areas where you can get seen versus Instagram. So that one, I hope it works. I don't know if it works, but that's something that I'm trying. And the other thing that I'm trying to give me time and be able to give time to my family is that I'm trying to not think too hard about content. I'm trying to be as genuine as I possibly can and just keeping it simple. I was actually really struggling to come up with today's video, but during the whole day I have been struggling in general. So I was like, oh my God, why don't I just make a video about my struggles? And that's how this video came about. So not overthinking is really hard for me, but that's what I'm trying to do in order to get more time, because it helps me all around. Like, it helps me with recording, it helps me with editing, and it helps me feel like at ease, because I know I'll have something to put out there that's valuable. And I think also, like, being genuine and all this is like, it's really easy to say be genuine, but then it's like, it's hard to, I feel like, transfer that on camera sometimes. So I'm working on that, because I think I'm a genuine person in general, but I don't think that sometimes I can send that message through a video. So I'm trying to see, how do I showcase my authenticity? This isn't all my platforms, but ultimately I know that this is what's going to showcase in my business. And so I know that that's an area of growth for me, and I have to figure out how to showcase myself like that. And the other thing I'm working on is my mindset. I think a lot of the times I don't think of myself as someone who could do it, and that's something that I had to change in my mind. I had to see myself as capable, and this is where the confidence comes in. Something that I've started doing is that every time I'm doing something, I try to visualize myself as succeeding at it. And so, like, for example, like currently for like social media, every time I record or every time I do anything, I try to visualize myself as like, okay, I am that content creator and this is how I'm going to look. And so I think it's beneficial with the way I approach things, but I am still struggling with it. Like, I'm not perfect at it. I'm still trying to figure it out. Like, I think I have to include maybe more talks with myself, or maybe I have to read a book about it or something, or watch videos to help me figure this out, or I don't know. But I know I have to improve my confidence, like, in every way. So anyway, that's my little chat for today. If you're going through something similar, I hope some of the ideas that I just gave you help. If not, if you have some ideas that have worked for you, I would actually love to hear them, because I need as much help as I can get. So if you have any suggestions, any thoughts, any tips, I would literally love to hear them. And I think also, if you were to post them in the comments, it would be very helpful for whoever is going through this. My biggest thing is that I know that I truly have to believe that this will happen for me and that I will be successful in order for it to happen. So that's something that I keep telling myself all the time, and it's something I encourage you to tell yourself all the time as well. But not just tell it to yourself, also do the work, of course. But no matter how hard this is, like, we are gonna get there. Okay, we're gonna get there. We're gonna do this, and you're gonna keep going at it, because you have to do it, and there's no other option. You have to do the work. It doesn't matter how many times you have to cry, how many times you have to go through those fears, how many things you have to go through in general. You have to do it in order to, one, be better, but to make this happen. So don't give up, keep going, keep doing the work, keep showing up, and things will happen the way they're supposed to. And also, don't forget to subscribe, because that would help a lot. But anyway, happy to have you here, and I will see you next time. Bye. Okay, I have been dwelling on this call for like hours already, because I'm so panicked about this phone call. I'm making this phone call to a coffee shop that I hope would work with me to provide me a space for a workshop, and an exchange of having my participants buy their stuff during a break time of the workshop. I have a script. I don't even know if the space is actually like big enough to host this many people, but I think it's important just for the fear that I have. But oh my God, it literally has been hours. I feel like I'm shaking inside. Let's get it over with. Let's get it over with. I promised myself I'd have to make this one call today, and that's it, just one call, and we can figure out the rest another time. Hi, this is Nancy from Create and Connect. Is the owner or manager available?
Yeah, did you have a scheduled call with him?
No, it's just an impromptu call. That's all.
Alright, I'm gonna have to turn it down then. Alright, you have a good day.
Oh, okay, thanks. At least I called. They turned it down for some reason. Okay. Huh. I didn't think that would happen. Is there something else I should have said? I don't know. I totally didn't. That's annoying that they would just turn it down. I made it, right? I did the call. That wasn't too bad. I didn't even have to go through the whole script. Okay, great. Awesome.